Question number one. Now this is kind of a question which is familiar to us, right? What is the answer which exhibits the correct sequence of the functions of accounting of a firm, financial accounting of a firm? Okay. And everybody has marked the correct answer for this. The answer is recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating. Okay. So out of the given answers, Pudha, but here I have skipped one function of accounting, that is recognition and measurement, right? Even if there are questions, sometimes the question is prepared like that. Okay, they skip one step and they ask the question. They have to select the most appropriate answer. Am I clear with you, Pudha? So the answer is first one: recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating. Option one. Okay, Pudha, another thing. Okay. When you answer the A-level paper, paper 1, right, you can't underline the answers. This is why the bracket is given. Okay, you have to write the correct option right within the bracket. Okay. Question number 2. Business is an entity separated from its owners. The accounting concept behind the above assumption is, okay, I think you know that. The answer is accounting unit concept. It says business for the purpose of accounting. That is so important for them. For the purpose of accounting, business is separated from its owner. And I think everyone is listening very carefully. For the purpose of accounting, there's another side of it. I think you have heard of the concept of legal personality. Okay. It is completely different with the idea of accounting unit. Legal personality is from the viewpoint of law. Okay. If a business has a legal representation in front of the law, that business has a legal personality. But accounting unit concept is something different. On the other hand, there are some businesses where the legal personality is not followed. Examples: sole proprietorships, partnerships, they do not have legal personality. Okay, but accounting unit concept is applied to all the businesses that we can see right in the society. Okay, right? Legal personality is from the viewpoint of law, but accounting, a unit concept is from the viewpoint of accounting. Is that clear to you? Right. Next one. What is the most useful information in making a business decision by a manager? Shall I tell you something? Okay. What is the most useful information in making a business decision by a manager? Remember, okay, when you make a decision, every information is important. Every information is important. Okay. So, the answer is all of the above. Remember that. If you want to make a business decision, right, it is better, right, if every information is available regarding the particular decision. You can't say quantitative information has more usefulness. No, that is no, right? Financial information is useful than the other informations. No. Okay. Every information is useful, but remember, through accounting, through financial accounting, in fact, we can provide only financial information. Am I clear with you? But when managers makes decisions, you know that, right? They refer all the relevant information that they have. I'm agree with you. When you make a business decision, all the information is important. The idea of this session is to teach you how the A-level paper is prepared, right? So this time I have received the first paper, right? A-level, but I didn't receive the English medium paper. I think it was shared in one of the Facebook groups, right? I don't know how it was available. I have the first paper, right, of 2020 A-level, right? It is a bit challenging. මේක ලේසි නෑ පුතා. හරිද? හැබැයි අයිඩියා එකක් තියෙන දරුවෙක්ට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ලේසි නෑ. හරි? ඒකට තේරුම් ගන්න මම මේ කියන දේ පුතේ. අපිට ඕන තරම් වෙලා දිනව හදාගන්න මේවා. Right. පුතා. Question number 4. What is the correct sequence of the following steps that takes place in accounting process? Puta? Now this question is similar to the first one, but presented in a different way, different manner. Today, correct sequence. Read out the given information. Preparation of primary books, balancing of the ledger accounts, posting of the journal entries to the ledger, issuing the source document, preparation of the trial balance. Right. Now this question is based on the locations. Locations first step is issuing source document. So it starts with D. And preparation of primary books, DA. Posting the journal entries to the ledger is C. Classify. So the order is DAC. Balancing of ledger accounts B, and preparation of the trial balance. So look at the order now. D, A, C, B, E. So the option is number 2. The correct answer for question number 4 is number 2. Today, another thing, right? It is better if you can, right, take a hard copy of the tune. හරිද? මම ඕනනම් ඊළඟ සතියේ ඉඳලා මම තව දවසක් කලින් පේපර් එක එවන්නම්. හරිද? මොකද hard copies ටික එකතු කරගන්න, right? එතකොට ඔයාලට ලේසියෙන්ම මේක කරගන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. මේ ටික collect කරලා ලස්සනට තියාගන්න. හරි? Number 5. Question number 5. What is the factor which doesn't generate a difference between financial and management accounting? No, normally financial accounting and management accounting are different, inherently different, but there are some similarities. Okay, look at this. Interested parties. Now, from that viewpoint, financial accounting is different with the management accounting. For the information of financial accounting, every stakeholder is interested. But for management accounting, it is not available to all. It is available just to the internal management. Therefore, first one is not the answer, right? Which doesn't generate timing of the product information. Financial accounting provides what has happened, historical transactions. But management accounting provides the information related with the current and future trends. So from the second base also, financial accounting is different with the, right, management accounting. 3. Objective of, right, provided information. Then put a even though you provide the information through financial or management accounting, you are providing information to facilitate the user to make a decision. It is true that the stakeholders make different types of decisions. I'm agree with you. So the answer is objective of provided information. Okay, let's move to the fourth answer and see complexity of the impact of concepts and standards. You know that in financial accounting we have to follow a number of standards and the concepts. Okay, listen to me very, very carefully. But in management accounting we have to follow a less number of concepts and formats used. This is very important. In financial accounting, formats are specified. You will see that. As I predicted, there was a question based on primary books. So that is what we need to practice the formats. But in management accounting, the formats are not specified. Am I clear with you? Question number 6. What is the correct statement regarding the general purpose financial statements of a business? Accounting as a whole generates, right, 2 types of financial statements. If you want, you can note this down. I'm not going to give you a note. Right? Accounting generates 2 types of financial statements. First one is general purpose financial statements. Right? This is what the question is based on. Okay, first type is general purpose financial statements, and the second one is special purpose financial statements. So this is the importance of this session. You can learn with the given questions. Accounting as a subject, it provides 2 types of reports: general purpose, special purpose. Further, it provides, right, 2 types of special purpose financial statements. There are 2 types of special purpose financial statements. First one is, right, financial statements for managers and financial statements for the government. I repeat, mainly the financial, the reports are provided, right, based on accounting under 2 arrangements: general purpose, special purpose. And there are 2 types of special purpose financial statements. Okay. First one is special purpose financial reports for managers and financial reports for the government. That you all have written it. Okay. But remember, general purpose financial statements are prepared based only on financial accounting. It is in fact the second competency of the grade 13 syllabus. Financial statements for partnership. Financial statements for public limited companies. That a PLC prepared 2 sets of financial statements. One is for the general purpose and one set for special purpose. But in A levels, we prepare only general purpose financial statements. Special purpose, we don't prepare the general purpose, special purpose report, but we introduce it. Okay. Let's read the question. What is the correct statement regarding the general purpose financial statements of a business entity prepared for the fulfillment of information requirements of managers? No, it is not. Doesn't follow and any concepts or standards introduced. No, it has to follow a number of concepts. In the 5th chapter, I'm going to introduce you 13 accounting concepts and their applications. You all should study it. Number 3, prepared on the demand of owners. No, Buddha. Okay, it is not prepared demand on the owners. Look at this. Prepared to fulfill the requirements of stakeholders who cannot find the information themselves. That is the answer. Today, we have a very beautiful lesson, right? That is the first competency of the grade 13 syllabus, accounting standards. There is where to discuss about a standard called LKAS1. They are going to teach you the objective of financial statements. That tells you the objective of general purpose financial statements. You understand that? So the answer is number 4. Okay. General purpose financial statements are prepared to satisfy the requirements of the stakeholders who cannot find the information themselves. Okay. So the appropriate or the correct answer is number 4. Right. Okay. Now please keep the right PDF open. I'm going to change the screen to an Excel sheet. From this point, we have some calculations. Okay. Let me share the Excel sheet with you. Okay. Question number 7. Chintaka started a business on 1st of January 2020, investing 600,000 as capital. During the year, it was incurred expenses valued 80,000 and Chintaka has settled 30,000 valued expenses using his personal bank account. Further, during the year, an income valued 140 has been generated, while the owner has withdrawn goods valued 10,000 for his personal use. What is the balance of net assets as at 31st January 2020? Okay, today. I think you can remember this. Please observe the right how to obtain the answer for this one. Okay, can you remember this? Opening net assets plus additional capital. Okay, additional capital minus the drawings. Okay, plus or minus the net profit or net loss. If it is net loss, that should be subtracted, equals to the closing net assets or closing equity. Let's check the answers, please. Opening net assets is said it is 600,000. Additional capital, expenses of the business is 80. Right? Out of that 80, Chintaka, the owner has settled expenses were 30,000. There are many ways where the additional capital can be introduced. That the additional capital can be introduced just by introducing cash or an asset. It is one single way, but there are many ways. The owner has settled a liability of the business using his personal funds. That is also an additional capital introduced. Okay. Or the owner has settled an expense of the business using his personal funds. Even that is a way of introducing additional capital. Additional capital introduced is 30,000 that has to be added. That should be added. So the drawings of the period is 10,000. Goods drawings, that should be deducted. See how simple it is. And the net profit is, I think you know the net profit equals income minus expenses. So the income is 140,000. Expenses is 80. Therefore, the closing net assets is 680,000. Check the answer, please. Right. So the answer is correct. Option is Number 3, 680. Those who want, they can write this down. හරිද? මම එක කියපුතේ මේ paper එක කරද්දී paper එක කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන පොතක් පෑනක් ළඟ තියෙන්න ඕන. හරිද? This is the answer for question number 7. හරියට. Rangana has started a business investing rupees 800,000 on 1st of April. The liabilities of the business as at 31st of March 2020, that the closing liabilities, rupees 200,000, and Rangan has settled a trade payable valued 60,000 using his personal bank account. Then that account තේරුම් ගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ Rangana has introduced additional capital valued 60,000. Let me share the question paper so that you can take the better idea. Okay, I'm referring to this 60,000. Remember, that is an additional capital introduced by the owner. The profit of the business for the year ending 31st of March was 180, and Rangan has withdrawn cash worth 24,000 for his personal use. What is the balance of assets as at 31st March 2020? Let me show you how to find the answer for this. There may be several methods, but I'm going to teach you the method that everybody can understand. Okay, I'm using the same set of information here. Right to that. I'm starting with the given information. Rangan has started a business investing 800,000. That is opening net assets. That is opening net assets. How do we obtain this? How we have obtained this? Generally, net assets equals equity. No? So opening net assets equals, I think you can understand, assets minus liabilities. So this 800,000 equals opening assets minus opening liabilities. And then when we read the question, we will realize that additional capital introduced is 60,000 plus 60. The owner has settled a trade payable value 60,000 means that is the additional capital. And the drawings is 24. Drawings is 24,000. And the profit for the period is plus 180. If it is a loss, that has to be deducted. That has to be deducted. Okay. And they have not given the closing net assets. Okay. And remember, closing net assets equals closing assets minus closing liabilities. So for the moment, what we should do is we have to obtain the closing net assets. Simplify this section. It is 1,000, 1,016,000. Now this is the closing net assets. And it says, what is by closing net assets? Equity. Now what is the basic accounting equation? Make a basic accounting equation. Assets, equals equity plus liabilities. Now what we need is the closing assets. We know the equity. How much is it? 1,000 or 1,016,000. And they have given the liabilities as 200,000. Therefore, the answer is this. 1,016,000 plus 200,000 equals to the assets. How much is it? It is 1,216,000. The answer is option number 5. Answer for the question is Puta, number 5. Option number 5 is the correct answer. Nitin Uttara. Puta, if you can't understand, please let me know that, right? Let me show you how the answer has been obtained again. Puta. This is how the answer is obtained for that question. Today, by using this information, we have to provide answers for 4, right? The next 4 questions to that. Number 9, 10, 11, and 12. What is the correct sequence of prime entry books to be used to record the transactions 1, 2, 3, and 4? Question number, let's say transaction 1, purchased goods valued rupees 240,000 on credit from Prasadini traders. Okay, we need the prime entry books. Okay, මම හිතන අඩුම ගානේ එක්කෙනෙක් හරි පළවෙනි උත්තරේට ලකුණු කරලා තියෙනවා. බලන්න ඒ ඔයාද කියන. මොකද එතන දීලා තියෙන්නේ පුතා හරියටම යූස් කරන source documents. දැක්ක ගමන් ගන්න අම්මා මේ තියෙන උත්තරේ කියලා ගැව්ව ඩෝංගාලේකට. හැබැයි උත්තරේ වැරදි. Fine. The question is prime entry books, not the source documents. The first transaction is a credit purchase of goods. So the answer is purchaser's journal, number 1. The prime entry book is purchaser's journal. Second one, return goods valued 40,000 to Prasadini traders. That is recorded in the purchaser's returns journal. Okay. Number 3, sold goods valued 150,000 with 50% profit on credit. The prime entry book is Puta sales journal. Paid 15,000 as salary, cash payments journal. So the answer is second one, number 2. දැන් පුතේ මම තියාගන්න මේ වගේ ගානක් question එකක් වට වැරදුනොත් අපරාධ. Read the question very, very carefully. Right. Look at the next transaction. Which of the following accounting equation reflects the balances of assets, liabilities, and equity of Amara Singha's business as at, look at this date, 31st May 2020. Okay. Please observe the date of the 5th transaction. The date of the last transaction is 3rd of June. But this question asks to find the balances of assets, liabilities, and equities as at 31st May 2020. It means for this answer, you can't use the 5th transaction for that. Let's see how the answer is obtained. So for this Puta, there are no other right methods. Right? We have to do the working. This how we have to do it, Puti. First, use 3 columns, make our columns kisi that gahan this is working na Puta. Assets, assets, liabilities and equity. Assets, liabilities, equity. Now what do they ask? Balances of assets. Don't forget, the business has started in the current accounting period of 1st of May, investing 700,000. So assets plus 700,000, equity plus 700,000. You have to start with that balance. And the first transaction, purchase goods value 240,000, assets plus 240, liabilities plus 240. Once again, there are no other methods to answer this question. You do this working. Transaction on 16th of May, return goods value 40,000 to Prasadini due to imperfections. Assets minus 40, again inventory minus 40, liabilities minus 40. And then sold goods valued 150,000 with 50% profit on cost on credit to Hasita. However, the business has allowed a trade discount valued 5,000 at the point of sale. Now what you should know? You should know that the trade discounts do not record under the accounting. Okay. Now what we have done, Putha? What we have done? We have sold an inventory valued 150,000. Okay. 150,000 with a 50% profit margin. So the selling price will be, right, but you should get the selling price directly, multiply this by 1.5. Okay. The selling price is how much? 225. But Putha, we have given a trade discount of 5,000. Therefore, sales income is just 220,000. May the sales income, not 225. Don't forget, the business has allowed a discount of 5,000. Therefore, this is how you record the impact of the third transaction. Cost of sales is 150, reduced from assets. It was sold on credit, Naputa. So you receive, right? You create an asset called trade receivables plus 220. Cost of sales, sales. Okay. Therefore, what is the profit we have created? 70,000 that is added to the equity. See? And the last transaction, I mean, according to this question, the last transaction we can refer is number 4. Paid 15,000 as salaries. Cash minus 15. Equity minus 15, since this payment is an expense. What we can do is, Putha, we can obtain the balance of each column, balances of each column. Here we have the answers. Assets, as at 31st of May, assets is 955. Liabilities 200,000, equity 755. Let me show you the question. Assets 955, liabilities 200, right? Equity 755. මං චුටි තව පොඩි දෙයක් අහනවා නේ. කවුද මේකට මේ උත්තරේ දාපු ළමයි? මට දැන් කියන්න ඕන. හරි. මම පොඩ්ඩක් මම මේක හදනකම්. Has anyone marked the first answer? මට පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න බලන්න message එකක් කියන්න බලන්න. පළවෙනි උත්තරේ ලකුණු කරපු දරුවෝ ඉන්නවද කියලා. Next question. Question number 11. What is the net profit or net loss of the business after considering all the transactions given above? Let me show you the Excel sheet once again. See, now to answer this question, we have to refer the equity column now. So I recorded this to find your answer, which I have recorded, right? Now we have to use all the transactions given. Okay. So for that, what we should do? Compare the opening and the closing equity. The fifth transaction refer කරන්න ඕන. So after recording all the transactions, okay, all the transactions, right, you can understand that opening equity is 700,000, the closing is 765. There were no drawings, no additional capital. Understood? Therefore, the profit is closing net assets minus opening. How much is it? 65,000. Option number 1 is the correct answer. Option number 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 11. Number 12. What is the correct double entry to record transaction number 5? Today. Transaction number 5 is this one. Remember, transaction number 5 says, transaction number 5 is 50% of the balance payable to Prasadini traders was settled subjected to a 10% discount. We purchased goods worth 240,000 from Prasadini and returned 40. Therefore, the balance is 200,000. We have settled 50% out of that balance. Therefore, total settlement is 100,000, not 120. Okay, making 50%. Am I correct? When we settle this, we have received a discount at 10%. 10% of this 100,000 is 10,000. Therefore, the cash outflow is 90. We need the double entry recorded. Then trade payables debit 100,000. Liability decrease is a debit. Okay. How much have you paid in cash? 90,000. Cash control credit 90,000. And at discounts received credit 10,000. So what is the answer? The answer is number 2. Trade payables debit 100, discounts received credit 10, cash control account credit 90. Option number 2 is the correct answer. Next question is based on petty cash interest. Number 30. Petty cash interest of a business interest 1 month, and the value of the interest is 16,000. Okay, value of the interest is 16,000. The interest is reimbursed in the beginning of every month. The balance of petty cash control account as at 1st of May 2020 was 3,500. Petty cash expenses during May has exceeded by 1,800 compared to the previous month, April 2020. What is the petty cash expenses incurred during May 2020? In the beginning, we were told that, okay, petty cash interest is 16,000. Okay, and as at 1st of May, the balance is 3,500. This is as at 1st of May 2020. Now this shows the balance after making the payments during April. We have obtained this answer. Okay. We have obtained this answer after subtracting, right, the previous month's expenses, payments. Therefore, you can find out, therefore, the payments related with April is the difference. How much is it? You can come in 16,000 minus 3,500. How much is it? 12,000. These are the payments of petty cash for April 2020. 12,500. This is the question we have. It says during May, the petty cash expenses have exceeded by 1,800. ඒ කියන්නේ මේකට වඩා පුතා තව එකතු වෙලා තියෙනවා 1,800. Sorry, 1,800. The question is, what is the addition? How much is, what is the answer? 14,300. The answer is puta, right? The answer is, during May 2020, the business has spent 14,300 on petty cash. Option number 3 is the answer. Option number 3. Option 3 is the correct answer. Let's continue. Question number 14. What is not considered as a component of financial statement? The answer is statement of cost of production. It is not a component of financial statement. Option number 4 is the correct answer. Question number 14. Question number 15. The information related with the equity of Pahan traders is given below. Paper huh? Right. So you have been given with the opening and the closing equity. What is the profit or loss of Pahan traders? Did not understand. What should I use here? We have to use the net assets method. Isn't it? Right. Let's move to the Excel sheet. I'm using the right format of the first information. I'm using the same information that I have recorded here with that. Right. Opening equity is 400,000. And the closing equity is 680,000. Just fill the gaps. Look at this one. During the year 31st of March 2030, the owner has invested cash worth 26,000 and an office equipment valued 40,000. What is the total additional capital? 26,000 plus 40,000. 26,000 plus 40,000. 66,000. The owner has introduced additional capital value 66,000. Okay. And look at the next information. Estimated useful life of this office equipment is 10 years and depreciation on equipment has been correctly recorded. There's nothing you have to do here. See, the depreciation is recorded. Are there? So to deceive you, they can provide the information like this. But in this question, this has to be skipped because the depreciation is correctly calculated. So don't worry about it. Just continue the question. The owner has withdrawn cash valued 25 and goods valued 16. The total drawings here, 15 plus 16 is 31. Total drawings is 31,000. Now what do they ask? Right? They ask the net profit. We know the method. Method is this. Closing net assets minus opening net assets minus additional capital plus the drawings. The answer is how much? Profit is 200 and wait a minute. Yes. පුතේ එතන උත්තරේ නැහැ. Please මෙන්න මේක හදාගන්න මේ වගේ උත්තරේ හදාගන්න මේ විදිහට. Right? The answer is පුතා option number 4. හදාගන්න පුතා උත්තරේ. Extremely sorry for that. Option number 4 should be 245,000. Mark එක ගන්නකො. free mark එකක් දෙනවා එකට. Right? 245. Right. දැන් පුතේ ඔය ප්‍රශ්න ටිකට ඔයා කරපු ප්‍රශ්න ටිකට මට මම විනාඩි දෙකක් දෙන්නම්. හරිද? Okay. In the Excel sheet, we can't use the plus sign. Therefore, in my answer, the plus sign is not there, right? But it is possible. In your answers, you have record plus, right? And then calculate the profit or loss of the period and prepare the cash receipts journal of the period and cash payments journal of the period and prepare the cash control account. Do you understand? The questions can be combined. I have combined 2 lessons here. What are they? Accounting equation and trigonometry books. Let's see how the answer is going to be developed. I think the formats have been drawn by yourselves as I have done. Right. Here we have the format. Please observe how the answer is obtained. I'm using rupees thousands. හැමෝම මේ ගාන කරන්නට උත්සාහ කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Otherwise, this has no value, right? Transaction 1. Saranga invested 400,000 as capital in the business on 1st of May 2020. What happens is equity plus 400,000, cash plus 400,000. For a transaction, because the marks will be given, right? Each transaction. Number 2, on the same day, 1st of May, business purchased office equipment valued 240,000 on cash. Useful life of these were estimated as 5 years. Just record the purchase of office equipment. Office equipment plus 240. Cash minus 240. Okay. Now please note that Saranga Perera has started a stationery selling business. Look at the third transaction. Purchased a stationery with a list price value 42,000 on cash, subjected to a discount value 2,000. What happens is, I told you, in accounting we do not record the trade discounts. That you may have the basic what has happened here, right? Here the business has purchased stationery with a list price of 42, subjected to a 2,000 discount. So what happens is inventory plus just 40,000, not 42, and they have been purchased on cash. Cash minus 40. This will record the impact of the third transaction. Look at the next one. Purchased stationery with a list price valued 60,000, subjected to a 5% discount on credit from Samadhi publishers. Okay, once again we have a purchase. List price is 80. We have received 5. What is 5% of 80,000? 4,000. It means when we purchase the station from Samadhi publishers, we have received a discount of 4,000. Then we don't record the trade discount. Tangalhana purchase value 80,000 minus 4 is 76. So what has happened here is inventory plus 76. This time trade payables is also increased by 76. Harinang hari, waradinang ratu pෑනෙන් හදාගන්න. අද Sanjana, now listen to me. Listen to me. Now Sanjana, this question might be there with other students as well. How do you recognize the trade discount or the cash discounts? Listen to me. Other one kills the if the transaction is given at the point of the transaction, if the discount is given, if the discount is given at the point of the transaction, what is the point of the transaction means? At the purchase or the sale, that is definitely a trade discount. I repeat, if the discount is given at the point of sale or purchase, that is a trade discount. But if the discount is given when you settle a trade payable or a trade receivable, that is cash discount. Hari Sanjana therunada? I repeat, if the trade discount is given at the point of purchase or a sale, that is a trade discount. But if the discount is given when you pay a trade payable or when you collect a trade receivable, that is cash. It is recorded in the books, but not the trade discounts. So this is a trade discount, Nabuta. Why? Do you see? Transaction number 4 says that purchase station. It's a purchase, so it's a trade discount. This discount is given at the point of the purchase. So you have to quickly decide, okay, this is a trade discount. We do not record this. I'm agree with you. Good. Look at this one. Sold stationery on cash for 49,000. Look at this one. Business has marked 40% profit on cost on this sale. Look at this one. Here, they have given you the sales income, not the cost of sales. But sold stationery on cash for 49,000. Cash plus 49. This is your sales income. Right. And we have marked a 40% profit on cost of sales. Let me show you something. Do you know this, Puta? Cost of sales plus the profit, equals to the sales income. Now it says, what it says, Puta? Business has marked 40% profit on cost of sales. Again, when the cost of sales is 100, profit is 40. Therefore, sales income should be 140%. Am I clear with you? Do you understand this step? This is how you mark 40% profit on cost. Therefore, the sales income is 140. Okay. Now, in this question, what have they given to us? The sales income. It is 49,000. It is not the cost of sales. In this transaction, the available information is this sales income. Now we need to recognize the cost of sales and the profit. If you want the cost of sales, this is what you have to do. sales income divided by the relevant percentage. Again, 49,000 over 140 multiplied by the required percentage. Then how much is it? 35,000. I repeat. If you want the cost of sales, then make right? Value of the sales income. Again, 49,000 over the relevant percentage into, right, the required percentage. We need the cost of sales now. It is 35,000. Then can't you recognize the profit? How much is the profit? Profit take care. We can name 35,000 volume 40%. Profit is 14,000. Now what we should do is, we should record these two information in the appropriate places. First tell me, do you understand this one? Are there? So let's record it. Cost of sales is 35,000. Reduce it from the inventory. And what is the gross profit? 14. Add that to the equity plus 14. Add that to the equity, 14,000. Tutorials, I mean the question paper. Put it. The transaction says, number 5. Sold stationery on cash for 49,000. Now they have given you the cost of sales. Sorry, it is the sales income. 49,000 is the sales income. Sold stationery on cash for 49,000 is 49,000 is the sales income. The second sentence says, business has marked 40% profit on cost of sales. But they have not given you the cost of sales this time. Even the gross profit is not given, but they have given you the profit ratio, gross profit ratio, 40%. Then this is what we have to do. Make it under halagan. Cost of sales plus profit is the sales income. The question says, second sentence says, the profit is 40% on cost. Again, when the cost of sales is 100, profit is 40. Therefore, the sales income's percentage is like 1/4. Therefore, at this time they have given you the sales income 49,000. And you have to understand, this 49,000 is represented by 140%. Make deal information. This equals to 140%. What we have to do to obtain the cost of sales? 49,000. To obtain the cost of sales, 49,000 should be divided by 140. When you do this, you can find out the value of 1%. And multiply the same by 100. Do you see? The cost of sales is 35. And we were told that profit is, right, 40% of cost of sales. Again, 35,000 into 40%. Cost of sales plus gross profit equals to the right sales income. This have you recorded. Cash is increased by 40 because this was sold on cash. Inventory, this is the cost of sales. It is deducted from the inventory. And the profit is added to the equity 14,000. Got the idea? Any questions? Now we are in the 6th transaction. Paid the rent of the business 15,000 on cash, cash minus 15 because it's a cash outflow, and this outflow is an expense, so reduce it from the equity. Right? Number 7, stationery valued 4,000. Stationery valued 4,000 was damaged. However, the owner has decided to withdraw this stationery for his personal use. Okay, stationery valued 4,000 has been damaged. Generally, this 4,000 is an expense. But what the owner has done, he has withdrawn this for his personal use. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතා මෙන්න මේ value එක expense එකක් නෙවෙයි. I repeat, this 4,000 is not an expense. Generally, under the normal conditions, damaged inventory is an expense. But in here, it is no longer considered as an expense. It's a drawing. That is why I have used that in here. So in this one, we have one drawing. Remember that. Make up a drawing. It is not an expense. Even though it is damaged, the owner has recognized a solution for that. I'm not going to recognize it as a loss for the business. I'm going to withdraw it. I'm agree with you. So this 4,000 is not considered as an expense. It is recognized as a drawing. Because this will be helpful for the next requirement to ascertain the profit. It's a drawing. Number 8. Settled 50% of the amount payable to Samadhi subjected to a cash discount value 3,000. Now, what was Samadhi's balance? 76. How much we have settled? 50%. What is 50% of 76,000? It is 38. We have settled, look at this, we have settled 50% to Samadhi, again minus 38 from Samadhi. 50% from, right, 76 is 38. When we settle this amount, we have received a discount of 3,000. Discount received is an income. Income should be added to the equity. Please use the plus sign here. Or in front of all the positive balance, you have to use the plus sign. Then you can decide how much have you paid in cash. Just 35,000. Cash is deducted by 35,000. Number 9. Look at this one. Sold stationery on credit for rupees 96,000, right? To Tushan. Okay. The business has marked 60% profit on cost of sales on this sale. Okay. Once again, this time it is a credit sale. Value of the sale is 96. අර වගේම තමයි මෙන්න මෙතට දාගන්න පුළුවන්. හරියම ලේසි නේද? අපිට කියනවා cost of sales, when the cost of sales is 100, this time we have marked a 60% profit. Am I clear with you? Therefore, sales income's percentage is 160. And they have given you the sales income as 96,000. Then what is the cost of sales? What is the profit? I give you 2 minutes. Do it so. To obtain the cost of sales, what we should do? 96,000 divided by the relevant percentage. You will receive the value of 1% and multiply it by the required percentage. Therefore, cost of sales is 60,000, but is 60% of this 36. Understood? Now these are the two values that we have found. Recording. This time we have done a credit sale. Therefore, trade receivables increased by 96,000. However, the cost of sales is 60. The profit is added to the equity, how much? Plus 36. Is that clear to you? Good. Number 10. Received the electricity bill for the period valued 8,000. However, this has not been settled by the business as at 31st of May. What happens? Electricity bill for the period is an expense. Minus 8. It is from the equity. But we haven't paid it. This becomes an other payable, not a trade payable. This 8,000 becomes an other payable. Don't make this mistake again. When something is not paid in cash, there is no way of reducing it from the cash. Understood? Next, received 20,000 as an advance for a sale of stationery to be made on June. Now we have collected a set of cash, an amount of cash. Cash increased by 20. Can you all remember? I explained that every receipt of cash is not an income. I made a mistake in the 10th transaction. Equity minus 8, other payables plus 8. Plus 8. Okay. So are we good to move here? Right. Question number 11. Question number 11. Read it very carefully. Received 20,000 as an advance for a sale of stationery to be made on June. Now this receipt is not an income for the month of May. It becomes an income in the next month. So therefore, how do we recognize? This has a characteristic of a liability. Therefore, it should be recognized as an advance plus 20,000 for advances. Remember, advances received is a liability. Okay. Number 12. Business has collected 66,000 from Tushan. Collected 66. Further, the business has allowed a 10% discount on this settlement. Business has collected 66,000 from Tushan. In the 12th transaction, right, cash collection is 66. I'm clear with you. And this has been collected from Tushan. Tushan ke trade receivable after allowing a 10% discount. Now, let me show you another work. Okay. Value minus discount equals to the cash collection name. Do you know this? Now what we have done, we have given a 10% discount. When the value is 100, discount is 10. Therefore, how much is the cash collection? It is not 110. This is minus. Cash collection percentage is 90. Is that clear? I repeat. We have given a 10% discount on the value of the trade receivable that we have collected. Therefore, cash collection is 90,000. What I have given you, cash collection is 66. How do you find this one? 66,000 divided by 90 multiplied by 100. This should be 63,000. Let me show you the question. Extremely sorry. මම එකකට මාක් එකක් දෙන්නම් සස්ති මම දන්න ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්න වලින් එන්නේ කියලා. හරි. I give you a mark for that. Business has collected 63,000, not 66. Sorry for that. Huh? Collected 63. Here. Those who have taken the hard copies, it is collected 63 from Tushan. Let's continue. Here, the cash collection is 63,000. Do you see? The value becomes 70. This is the settlement made by Tushan. Then how much is the discount? 10% of 70 is 7,000 minus 7,000. Is that clear to you? Record it correctly. We have allowed a 10% discount on the value of the settlement. Therefore, the cash collection equals to 90% of the value. I have given you the cash collection as 63. How do you find these two values? 63 divided by 90 into 100 is the value of the trade receivable that has been collected, that has been settled. Therefore, the discount is 10% of 70,000. So it is 7,000. Is that clear to you? Let's record it. Today, number, we're referring to the 12th transaction. Is that clear? Yes. Look at this one. Cash collection is 63. And the value of the trade receivable that has been collected is 70. 70. Therefore, right, the allowed discount is, it's an expense 7,000 minus it from the equity. Look at the next one. Number 30. Read it very carefully. Saranga has obtained a personal bank loan valued 80,000 and invested 50% in the business as additional capital. Okay. According to the accounting unit concept, do we record the personal transactions of the owner? No. But we have to record the transaction which is related with the business. Let me show you the correction. Now the 13th transaction, we have two types of transaction. This one I'm referring to transaction number 30. Puta, this one is a personal transaction. The owner has obtained a personal bank loan. It is his personal transaction that has no impact to the business. But the second one, invested 50%, that affects the business. Therefore, according to the accounting unit concept, we don't record the first part of the transaction. Make up a record karan naha puta. But the second part must be recorded compulsory. Obtained bank loan is 80. What is 50% of it? Or 50% here. Additional capital 40,000. And if 40,000 api record karan dona. So puta, this have you recorded? Right. So puta, what happens here is cash plus 40. Additional capital plus 40. Remember, this is not an income. It is additional capital introduced. Understood today? Let's continue. Look at this one. Purchased stationery with a list price of 25,000. subject to a trade discount valued 5,000. Once again, we don't record the trade discount. Therefore, the value of this purchase is just 20. The payment related with this purchase was made by the owner using his bank current account. Inventory plus 20,000. But who has paid for this? The owner. Puta. Therefore, it is also recognized as an additional capital introduced. Business purchased 20,000, but the payment was made by the owner. Additional capital. Once again, then your basic table, we do not record the trade discounts. Good idea. Last transaction. Depreciated office equipment for the period under consideration. You have to be very careful here. Read the question, top of the question, please. The transaction took place in the business during the first month. Therefore, you have to convert the depreciation into 1 month. Look at the second transaction. We have purchased office equipment on 1st of May. And the useful life was 5 years. To depreciate this, what we have to do here, what we should do is, right? 5 years, how many months? 60 months. Huh? Divide 240 by 60 months. Therefore, office equipment is depreciated just by 4,000 for me. That is the depreciation of office equipment for the period. Remember, this is an expense. Do you understand? I guess yes. If you are ready, we can calculate the closing balances. Quickly record the closing balances given. Okay. Now the second requirement, calculate the profit or loss of the period using the net assets. What the method? Formula. Profit equals closing net assets minus opening net assets minus additional capital plus, right, the drawings name. Open method. Closing net assets here. How much is it? 475 minus what is the opening net assets? 400,000 minus 400,000. Do we have additional capital? Yes, we have. The owner introduced additional capital in 2 occasions. What is the total? 60. That must be deducted. And what is the drawing? I told you, this 4,000 is a drawing. So, it has to be added. Therefore, profit is 19,000 for the month. Right. Once again, you all are invited මට අමතක තියාගන්න මට payment එක මේ මාසේ හදිස්සි නෑ. පරිස්සමෙන් girl වලට වෙලා ඉන්න අම්මලාටත් කියන්න. හරිද? මට මේ මාසේ ඕනම දවසක payment එක දාන්නකො මට කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. හරිද? ඒ වගේ payment එක කරන්න ඕනේ. හරි. මේ මාසේ කැමති දවසක ඔයාලා අන්තිම දවස් වලත් කවන්නේ මට payment එක කරන්න. දැන් එළියට යන්න එපා කියන්නේ. මොකද ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් අපි දැන් නොදන්න දේවලුත් තියෙනවා. Right. So be very careful. First you have to look after your loved ones, right? I'm not in a hurry. You can pay me right within any day you like for this month. Right? Unfortunately, you can view the video or a payment link වල තියෙන ළමයි විතරයි මම මේක පස්සේ බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? හැබැයි ඒ දරුවන්ට මේක බලන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. Right. Okay. So for that 19,000, right, is the profit. Let's move to the last two requirements. Last two requirements, that is cash receipts journal, cash payments journal, and the cash control account. Right. Let's continue. Then hadanna මේකට මොකද්ද පැටි ඕන ගන්න? මෙන්න මේ කොලම් එක. මේක. Just record the receipts and the payments. හරිද? දැක්කද පුතේ? To record the cash receipt journal and payment journal, we refer the cash column only. Yeah? Right. Let's record cash receipts. Okay. The dates are not that much important because the date have not been provided. Right. So if you like, you can look at the transaction numbers. The first transaction is a receipt. Date transaction number. So I record transaction number 1. It's a receipt. Description is capital. Okay. Amount introduced is 400. It is an other receipt. Okay. First transaction number 1. Transaction number 1 is a receipt. Second transaction is a payment. We have purchased office equipment. So transaction number 2 is recording here. Transaction number 2. Description is office equipment. Value is 240. Other payment. See. Refer only the cash column. What is the third transaction for that? It was a purchase of goods. It's a cash purchase, right? Once again, in the payments chart. Transaction number 3. Purchasers. You don't want to say purchase of stationery. Just say purchasers. Value is 40. Analyze that in the purchases column. See how we can write combine the lessons here. 40 times. What is the next receipt or payment? We have 49,000. Fifth transaction, it's a receipt. Transaction number 5. This is collected on sales. Description should be sales. Amount is 49. Sales 49. See, we have to record the receipts and payments only. Yeah? This 15 is a payment. As I can remember, it was the rent of the business. Yes, rent. It's a payment. Transaction number 6. Transaction number 6. Description is rent. Value is 15. It is an expense. See how nicely, right? The lesson is developing, the question is developing. After that, we have another payment on, right? The 8th transaction is also a payment, but you have to be very careful here. It's a settlement to trade payables. And we have received a discount of 3,000 as well. Huh? That also should be mentioned here. Transaction number 8. Check your answers, please. Sorry. Transaction number 8. Trade payables. Discount received is 3. Amount paid is 35. Analyze 35 in accounts payable or trade payables column. Understood? Next one, 20,000. What was that 20? Okay, read the 9th transaction, please. Sorry, 11th transaction, the 11th. Received 20,000 as an advance for a sale. It's a cash receipt. Transaction number 9. But the description should not be sales. What is it? Advance. Okay. 20,000. Remember, make a sale income. It is an other receipt. Listen to me very carefully. Advance is not recognized as a sales income of the current accounting. It becomes another receipt. 20,000 other receipt. Right? Next one is 63. It is a collection of trade receivables. Transaction is 11. Transaction 12. Number 12. Sorry, this should be transaction 11. Next is also receipt. Trade receivable. Allowed discount is 7,000. Cash collection is 63. Analyze it in the account receivable or trade receivable column. 63. $40,000. It was the additional capital introduced. Transaction number 30. Number 30. Capital. How much is it? 40,000. Analyze this payment in other receipts. 40. Now we have recorded all the receipts and payments of the period. Let's get the closing balances. Sum. This is how it appears, the cash receipts journal. And this is how the payment journal appears. Right? Now we need to update the cash control account. See how it is done. Okay. Let's start with the receipt side. Okay. Collection from trade receivables is 63,000. Sales income 49. Other receipts total is 460. If you like, you can debit the things separately, but as we need the final answer, you can record the receipt like this. There's another way. And make a maicher kamathi nෑ පුතා. There's another way of preparing the control account. Record the total receipts in the debit side and the payments in the credit. එච්චර එක ලස්සන නෑ. හොඳයි අපි හරි විදිහට ඉගෙන ගමු. හරි? And then right. The payment side. Trade payables 35 payment. 35. And then put a purchasers 40. 40. Expenses 15. 50. And other payments 240. 240. Harida, get the balancing figure 572. BCD is 572 minus 330. It is 242. බලන්න පුතා ඒකද කියලා අපි උත්තරෙන්නේ මේ තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනට එන්න ඕන ඒ උත්තරේම තමයි. හරිද? So the closing balance of the cash control account is exactly 242,000.